You just watched a video about warm and cool colors, and the first thing I'm going to suggest that you do before you add your chalk to your sky is separate your warm and cool colors. I'm using a cool blue colored paper, so I know I'm going to use cool colors. So I took them out of the container and I just put them in the little tray. You might want to sit with a friend who's using similar colors. I'm going to go ahead and leave those warm colors in the tray so I don't get mixed up while I'm working. White is a color that works with either warm or cool, so keep that in mind. When you're adding color to your beautiful sky, you're going to add the color in between the glue lines. So I just take my color. You can use the side of your chalk, you can use the tip of your chalk, but you're just coloring in the spaces in between the lines. When you want to make it look nice and smooth and you want those glue lines to show up, you take your finger and you're going to go ahead and blend that chalk in. It's always fun to add a second color. If you would like to see what color it mixes to, you can go ahead and blend two colors together. If you're not sure what color it's going to make and you are afraid that you may come up with a color that you don't care for, you can always flip it over on the back and you can always check what the colors will look like on the back. For example, you may not want to blend purple and green together because that's going to turn into kind of a muddy looking color. You may not want that for your beautiful sky, but you might be pleasantly surprised if you blend some lighter blues together and you like those. So I always do my practicing on the back. As you go, as you move through and you add color, take your time. If you don't finish today, no worries. But remember, we just want to add our chalk kind of in where the glue lines are. You don't need to add it to the bottom of your paper where your landscape is going to go later. Try to use colors a couple of times. You're not going to be able to have a different color for every area. Just kind of spread them. And the more you add, the more you will begin to see those glue lines reappear. Now, if you're using a warm colored paper, you may end up with something that looks like this. And again, here's a different cool colored paper. Everybody's are going to look different depending on the colors that you use. I would avoid black. If you want to do a dark sky, I would avoid using black until the very, very end of the class period so that your black doesn't take over. And one last little tip, just use the tips of your fingers to blend the colors. Do not use your whole hand and smear this direction. If you use the whole hand, not only do you get chalk everywhere and all over your paper in places that you don't want it, but it just kind of smears everything together. And we really just want to kind of blend one or two colors together and use those fingers. Feel free to run to the sink and wash your hands as you're working. You can do, a couple of lines and use different fingers and then go wash your hand and come back and keep working. Have fun today.